G'day guys, welcome to today's AFL Evolution Career Mode video. We're picking up where we left off with the Lions. And today's going to be a little bit of a different episode for you guys. We're 1-3, 4 rounds in. But that is all about to change. And we're going to have a little bit of an appearance on Footy Classified a little bit later on in the episode. So let's pick up where we left off. We're in round 5 against the Western Bulldogs. 17th versus 18th, right? I mean, surely we're going to be in for another close game, a good encounter. We're coming off a good win against the Tigers, in some good form, the Brisbane Lions, and we didn't start the game anywhere near where we needed to. The Dogs started with a 25-point lead at the opening change after Stuart Kramer put through a couple of goals, as well as Travis Cloke was having a little bit of a day out as well for the Western Bulldogs when they started off in that opening term. In the second quarter, they just blew this game apart. Cloke was sensational there, and they took a 46-point lead into the opening half, the Dogs, but it just got worse and worse for the Brisbane Lions from there, and the Dogs ended up running out 112-point winners at Etihad Stadium. Luke Dahlhaus clearly just winning ball left, right, and centre. And then we got back another home game. We started reasonably well against Port Adelaide. It was a fairly low-scoring affair with a bit of drizzle around throughout the game. And once again, you know, just not able to stick through it for 4 quarters. Port Adelaide in this final term, after just taking a 13-point lead into that final change, absolutely blew the Lions out of the water in the last quarter and just put the game well beyond doubt. Even Lobie was getting in on the action. You can clearly see the frustration on the Lions coach, but it just got blown out of proportion. I've smacked the wall, gone to coach from the bench because I could not sit in the coach's box watching this horrible thing happen. So Port Adelaide running out 10-goal winners in the end in that match there. And then we move on once again, and the Hawks, I think, were the next. Under the Swans. The Swans were the next opponents for the Lions. They, once again, absolutely destroyed us with a 101-point thumping. And it was really at this stage where the Lions were just were in a real struggle. So 1-6 at this stage, Brisbane. Josh Shackey taking over the captaincy over Dane Beams, or co-captains with Dane Beams here, and couldn't even win the toss. That's how bad the Lions were going. The Hawks got off to a flying start and had pretty much put the game to bed before half-time. Luke Bruce taking a nice mark and just playing on anyway, and just adding insult to injury for the Brisbane Lions there. Rockcliffe still injured, and Roughhead and McAvoy finishing off the job there. And the Hawks, once again, with another big thumping of the Brisbane Lions. And this led to an appearance on Footy Classified. I'll see you guys later. Enjoy the video.
The umpire's throw is a good one. Hit by Figueroa. He has the ball.
Welcome back to Footy Classified. In difficult times, the Brisbane Lions coach has been kind enough to join us. Welcome to Footy Classified.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. You know, obviously the show doesn't air in Queensland, so that's a good thing.
Before I ask you the question about which we need to ask you, this is how you reacted recently to a journalist who asked you about your future.
How about you just piss off? Thanks. Yep. Next question.
No one's disputing that it's a tough spot you're in and that it's difficult to answer questions like that. But it's a fair question in the circumstances that you find yourself in. So, to the risk of backing over it, do you worry about what the future holds?
Look, I don't worry about the future too much, Hutchie. I think that, you know, we've got a very young list, and it's you know, very difficult for them to perform week in, week out, and to do that, you know, 4-quarter performance. And that's just inexperience, I think, more than anything. So I'm very proud of where the list is going, and I think that over the next, 18 months, I've got a job to do for the next, year or so. So I think that we are going to definitely move forward from this one, from this, Hutch. Yeah.
Your critics would say that the defence just doesn't work, that the style of defence is outdated for modern footy. You might argue that that's personnel, but the numbers are adding up. This defensive team is Fitzroy-like in the numbers that you put up into round 14. I think it's 7 points off Fitzroy in the third outside the expanding teams of the last 20 years. In an era when clubs have got better defensively. How do you explain, you were a wonderful defender yourself, how do you explain just how bad this team is at defending?
Yeah, look, it's a bit of a concern, the defence for us, but again, it just goes back to inexperience in the young players. They aren't able to perform at that level right now, and we've blooded a lot of new talent. So I think that as they get better and they're training harder every week, they get another pre-season under their belt next season. And I think that these guys will be ready. We've got a really good backbone there in that defence and in the forward line, and I think that they will do really, really well come next season. But that's not a good number. It's really not a good number for us. It doesn't look good, and it really doesn't help our cause from the outside looking in.
It's been great of you to come and face the music. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.